we're not going to not have fires. And the way these systems operate and the way energy moves through these natural ecosystems, fire is going to happen.
We know that our fire season's 70 days longer now than it was in the 80s.
What we find ourselves with now is people are dying in wildland fires, and we're losing homes and communities, infrastructure, and critical habitat, and we are spending gobs and gobs of money.
It's a gnarly problem in that it's got economic issues, it's got social political issues, it's got ecological issues, and cohesive strategy brings all of those together with the direction that's coming out of policymakers that says we collectively are looking at this as a solution.
Federally, Congress passed the FLAME Act that called for a strategy, some sort of national strategy to help us address some of those issues. And what came from that is the National Cohesive Wildland Fire Management Strategy.
The three legs of the strategy are a fire-resilient landscape, a fire-adapted community, and a safer, more effective firefighting operation.
Cohesive strategy is not a program. It is actually a strategy. It's how do we work better together to actually make a dent in some of what the conditions of our landscapes are. How do we make a dent in that? We have to get out of our business as usual thinking across our agencies and our non-governmental organizations and find ways to work together.
Cohesive strategy is really an umbrella concept that is a way of being, it's a way of thinking, it's a way of approaching our work. It's thinking like our partners. It's looking out for each other's missions, because we do have different missions, while at the same time accomplishing those common goals.
With the cohesive strategy and collaboration, forced collaboration, we have partnerships, we have shared information, we have that learning community where the individuals, whether they're private landowners or other agencies, shareholders, stakeholders, bring a common interest to our goal of restoring these systems. That's a huge change, paradigm shift, if you want to think of it that way, from where we were even 5 years ago, where individuals brought their own set of values rather than looking at it from the perspective of what we're going to need if we're going to have all values on those lands.
It's really important that one figure out how to accept some short-term risk at the same time as you're trying to manage for long-term risk. And it's really important that you programmatically align all of your activities so that they work in collaboration with each other, and you end up with the benefits that are proposed from the cohesive strategy, which is the reduction of long-term risk for landscapes, the reduction of long-term risk for communities, the reduction of long-term risk for individuals and for firefighters.
But the fact is, these landscapes were born in fire and developed under fire, and fire is a natural process. It can't be avoided. And I think that's the message that the public at large needs to embrace and fully understand. We can only delay fire from these landscapes. We can't avoid having it.
The end goal for the cohesive strategy is to reduce the impacts of wildfire, not just on our landscapes, but of course in our communities and in our fire response. But there's no way that activities in one area don't impact another area. So realizing that they're all integrated and making sure that we have opportunities available across all three of those goals is where the magic happens.